You know those moments of inspiration, like when you've been kind of mulling over something and you're on the verge of some kind of insight and you're trying to be ready to allow it to come through. And when you look at it directly, you kind of get stumped. It's like when you're trying to remember a word and you actively think about that word, and as soon as you stop thinking about it, suddenly, boom, you remember the word, right? So I've been paying attention to when insights come through, when sort of like a breakthrough moment is in something that you've been mulling over. And I've noticed that when I have something on my mind and I'm seeking that breakthrough, that insight, that kind of jumping off point, or the place where I can step through, a place where I can kind of get like a new perspective on. I've had a tendency in the past to think if I take time, make space for myself, maybe meditate on this certain thing, do some journey work on this thing to try to like manifest the insight. It doesn't necessarily slow things down, but it certainly um, doesn't always get me what I'm seeking. And similarly to when you're trying to remember a word, suddenly you'll find yourself making dinner one day and all of a sudden there it is, the thing that you've been like kind of actively honing in on. So as I watch what happens when these moments occur, I've noticed that you can kind of come at the breakthrough you're seeking from two different sides at once. So on the one hand, you have the conscious intention of asking for the information you're seeking or asking for the breakthrough. And that can be either something you're just holding space for in your mind and in your body. It could be something that you're like actively speaking intentions for. Or it could be something that's sort of just like on the back burner in your brain. Either way, you've got this one place where you're like holding space for the thing that you're seeking. And then there's the other part where you kind of let go of it. You give yourself room to just be, and not necessarily that you completely forget about it, but it's not your main focal point. And when you have these two things occurring at the same time, what that does is basically create like a anchor point in both sides of this like balancing act. And that is like, it's like a tunnel for what you've been seeking to actually come through. So you're literally building a system to allow the thing that you're seeking to show up rather than just kind of like being this open canvas that's like, maybe it'll land, I hope it'll land, maybe if I just keep thinking about it, it will land. And instead, harness the power of these two like opposing things. So as you work on clarity of the things that you are asking for, be sure to give yourself room for both things. Give yourself, more like material, earthly action towards the thing, like speaking it out loud, stating your intentions, writing things down, vision boards. People love vision boards. They're fun, right? So like that's a great way to do it. And then don't make that the focus of your life. Continue to live, continue to work on the other things that you're working on, and just allow those two actions to meet so that you can create this place for what you're seeking to actually come through, right?